Day two of hearings in the Lamar Johnson's exoneration have wrapped. He's trying to prove he's innocent of a 1995 murder in South City. The case continues getting national attention, and tonight News 4's Russell Kinsall is following the case from the courthouse downtown. Russell.
Well, attorneys for Lamar Johnson brought in an expert on eyewitness testimony today, but the judge said don't even bother. Her testimony is not necessary. It was obvious to him that police were overly aggressive in trying to influence the eyewitness to choose Johnson as one of the killers. He said it was a textbook case of police influence on a witness. So far in court this week, a man named James Howard testified that it was he and another man who has since died who committed the murder in 1994. Howard's serving a life sentence for another murder, but said he always felt guilty that Johnson went to prison for a crime that Johnson didn't commit. The key witness in the case, Greg Elking, was standing a few feet away from the victim at the time of the killing and said he couldn't identify the two shooters because they wore masks. But he said police bullied him into naming Johnson and testifying against him. Years later, he recanted his testimony. In court this afternoon, there was testimony Elking was given payments by the circuit attorney's office after he identified Johnson as one of the shooters, at least $4,000. But until Kim Gardner's Conviction Integrity Unit re-examined the case, it appears that information was kept secret.
Did you learn that Midwest Innocence Project and others have been requesting information with respect to whether Mr. Elking had been paid for his testimony?
I did. There was requests we made for many years.
So the testimony by somebody who had worked in Gardner's office, the head of that Conviction Integrity Unit, said that whenever people would request the information records showed, they were told those records didn't exist, but in fact they did. Now there was a tense moment, a dramatic moment in court today when the judge appeared to be getting mad at Circuit Attorney Kim Gardner. He was wanting to make clear who had been convicted in that 1994 murder. It was Johnson and another man named Campbell. He asked about that guy, James Howard, who was in jail, in prison on a conviction of murder, who admitted in court yesterday that he was one of the killers. He turned to Kim Gardner and said, why haven't you charged him in that 1994 murder, and appeared to get mad at her that she hadn't moved forward on that. Gardner said it was still under investigation. Live downtown, Russell Kinsall, News 4.